MRCX Round 3 coming at you live from Melbourne. Quite a tricky challenge for our drivers here today. We've had two very fast tracks with not that many low corner sections, and they're being thrust into a street circuit hybrid, which will be a lot of challenges for our drivers. And joining me tonight, can you hear that? A whim away, a whim away, a whim away, a whim away, a wee! The lion sleeps tonight. It's only the Lion King himself. It's Simba. Simba, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, what an introduction. 10 out of 10 for that one. Yeah, I'm pretty good actually. Quite excited to watch the race and obviously commentate on it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to grab a few details here. I'm just going to make sure that everything is up on the screen that we want, at least for quali. I'm going to go on board with Chris Bailey, the blowhole himself. He's going to take us on a lap of this wonderful circuit. He's going to do an exploratory lap on the mediums just to get used to the circuit. Have you done many laps on this in practice? How does it feel for you?
Personally, I haven't actually turned a wheel yet, other than the story mode.
Ah, fair enough. Same here. I mean, in story mode, I did much the same. It seemed okay. I don't know. Some people are saying that they've got the tyre grip just right this year, so I don't know if it's a slightly slipperier circuit, as it is a street circuit hybrid, and there are portions of this circuit that are normal roads during the year. So interesting to see how our drivers go here tonight. You can see Chris Bailey weaving his tyres around, trying to make the most of the traction. It's always a challenge around here. I think qualifying is going to be super important because overtaking around here is no joke. It's pretty hard to do. So let's see what happens.
Haven't we got an extra DRS zone this time around as well?
We have. Let's see. We're going to go live with Bailey. We're going to go on a lap and we'll see if we can get example of that DRS zone. The first one, of course, is down this start-finish straight. So across the line he goes and into turn number one. Brake around about the 50 marker there. Hook it in, right, then left. So easy if you're going to wheel on the grass here just to lose the car, but Bailey's better than that. It's been very steady through here. Now we're down into turn number 3 where Alonso had his big accident all those years back, but Bailey does no such thing. And this bit, I call it the car park, because you see a couple of lines through here. Once again, very easy to get a wheel on the grass, and we've seen plenty of cars spear into the wall. That hasn't happened there. Now this new section, this has all been redesigned in the past. You've got 2 DRS zones or DRS activation zone. Should start to see, there it is, the flap open at the back there. Possible overtaking opportunity here as you head down into one of the most thrilling corners on this track. This left, right, you want to carry all the speed you can through here. Don't get it on the outside because that DRS slope opens wide up again, and we'll see a lot of overtaking opportunities as we head down into this section. Another bit that's revamped, this right-hander, a little bit wider, allows for a bit closer racing through here. And then you're into these last 2 corners. I like to compare them to the old chicane that we had back in Spain. It just slows the lap down and bunches the field together. And it is very easy to lose the back end if you're not careful. But Bailey's managed that very well. It's going to be quite a respectable time on the mediums as he crosses the line. And that's a 1:18.8. Excellent lap there from the blowhole.
Yeah, he's definitely quick, is that guy. And I know this is one of his favourite tracks as well, so I'm expecting good things tonight.
Yeah, I mean, as we all know, he is... Oh, sorry, Johnny Smooth going very wide there as you went through 9.10, but he's managed to not invalidate his lap. Yeah, Bailey, as we know, is all sort of chasing that championship down. He is desperate for one. Came so close last year. It was literally hundredths, tenths of a second, wasn't it, from claiming his first ever win in the sport.
What was it, 0.011 at the line away from a championship?
It is crazy, and I'm sure he doesn't want to remind him about it, but I will remind him nevertheless. Johnny Smooth across the line in 4th place there. Excellent back there. And just credit though, you can see Chris Bailey and G-Star on the mediums still in 3rd and 5th place. It shows you that once they get on the softs, they're going to be no slouches. We'll have a little look and see what the MRCX standings are at the moment, because I must admit I've forgotten them. So yeah, our Tier 1 standings, it is Bailey up the top with 50 points so far. That's a very respectable tally. Then you've got Kid Dynamite and Saviour and Night Shadow all sort of hovering around the 30 mark, and Carl Eden's bit is still in the hunt, but the others way down. So it's just the start that Bailey wanted to the season, and fingers crossed he can keep that pace up tonight.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, DRS Neo 1:17.9. That's a good time.
It is. Where's that come from? DRS Neil was in What tier is he usually in? Was he in? There's so many DRSs at the front. We've got
I think he's a
DRS
reserve for Tier 3 because he won Tier 3 on his debut on Wednesday.
Oh wow, okay, well he'd be tier 3 for long with times like that. Let's see how he can compete against the other tier 1 runners. But if you compare it to people like Confetti Craig, who's one of our tier 1 reserves, and Saviour, who we all know is no slouch, down in 3rd, and he's made half a second up on that. That ain't tier 3 pace, matey. That is tier 1, particularly if you're running with no line.
Yeah, I mean, probably tier 2 at best, but yeah, he's definitely quick.
Yeah.
That's why we have him as reserve for a while. It gives us a chance to figure him out a little bit.
Yeah, it does, and it's always a really good opportunity, this MRCX, isn't it? Just to see where drivers are at with their pace, what kind of things they can do around the circuit, and gives us all a good chance to practice as well, because this is the first race of round 3. Oh, Smith's retired. I don't know, he's lost it in that first sector.
Yeah, the turn 2 by the looks.
Yeah, you can see it at the back there. That is a common place to go. It's such a late apex into that right-hander and then the left. You can just lose the car through there. And as always, as I've said, this is a street circuit hybrid. The barriers are close, so we might expect a couple of safety cars tonight, or maybe a red flag. However, just for all of you listening at home, do be aware that 1, the red flags are on, so fingers crossed we will be glitch free, and 2, we have set the settings to reduced safety car, which is going to be the new setting across all of our tiers, given the fact that it does like to come out when maybe there isn't too much of an incident on track, and we had maybe 18 laps of racing on Monday, all under safety car, which is no fun for you watching at home or for us driving. So yeah, fingers crossed it gives us a better racing experience overall.
Let's hope so. I mean, the frequency of the safety cars on this game has just been unreal.
It is. I think it's always a bit of a learning curve right at the start, isn't it? What works, what doesn't. Codemasters will change certain things, and although it's been pointed out that if a car did go into the wall in Saudi Arabia, lose a front wing, maybe that would bring out a safety car, but in reality we just all want to race and get on with it. So yeah, if reduced helps us race, then I think we'll stick with that for now. Just on board with single track now. Had a lot of
liveries he running tonight.
Oh yeah, we've got to go through those liveries as well. If you point me in the direction of ones that you know about, I'm happy to focus on them. He's had a lot of pace this season, but not quite the luck single track in tier 2. Was our pole sitter, I think, on Monday night, and I thought he would be one of the favourites for the win, but it didn't quite come up for him. 9th place, that's excellent lap from the boss. Let's see what else he can do.
I don't know a lot about the liveries. I'll go have a look at livery chat in a minute.
Thank you.
RFC Danny, come on. He's running the Miami Red Bull livery.
Oh yeah, it's certainly a choice, I'd say. Not a very creative one, but hey, if you like Max Verstappen, good luck to you.
I mean, he's a talented driver. It's just his attitude sometimes.
Sometimes, but that comes with some of the best in the sport. They've always got a little bit of something about them. I'm sticking on with Donny, one of our tier 2 drivers. I always forget what to call them.
Donny is tier 3.
Tier 3, but he's challenger class, isn't he, in this one?
Yeah.
I'm just seeing where our main challenger class drivers are tonight. Johnny Smooth is our leader in that championship at the moment with 44. Chelsea is in 2nd place, but I can't see him racing tonight. We've got
he's not racing tonight.
No, we've
Mutz
got
Nuts isn't either.
Yep, so Donny could make up a lot of time on those 2 in front, and he'll want that slower car in front of him to get out the way unless they're on a fast lap too, but he does seem to be closing at quite a rate of knots here. It does look like that car in front of him is on a quick lap, so he doesn't have to get out of the way, remember. If it's a quick lap, it's fine, but he will be fuming under that helmet. He's almost trying to push that other car around now, I think. Oh, thinks about it, almost gets out of the way and doesn't, so Donny will abandon the lap into the pits. He's going to have another go later in the session.
I'm just watching Biff, who's coming around the final corner at the moment. Doesn't look to be an awful lap. See when he gets at the line. 20.992, good banker.
Yeah, very respectable, and when you're down in last place, you want anything's better than 20th, and that certainly has taken him out of those contention. We've got two very fast drivers sitting at the back there with Kid Dynamite and LRL. I wonder if they're waiting till the end, or as always, some of them just like to have a little last to first challenge for the hell of it.
Kid Dynamite has actually been out. He's just entering the pits. He must have messed his lap up. Okay. He messaged me beforehand. He was going to be a bit touch and go whether he could qualify or not, because he was, shall we say, holding the baby. Waiting for his partner to get home. She wasn't due home till 7:30.
Oh, blimey. Okay,
so it was a bit touch and go whether he could get the baby to sleep and get on. I know he was doing a couple of laps practice, and then he messaged me going, she's just woken up. I'm like, well, please join the lobby. We know you're good for a last to first anyway.
Yeah. But I think that's fair enough. Childcare duties, I think, take slightly bigger responsibility than driving in MRCX. So best of luck to you, Dynamite, and I hope it goes well. And I hope the baby keeps asleep for most of the night. I'm just on board with Bailey there. He's on his first soft lap, of course, qualified 5th on the mediums. So this will be his one soft lap. He's probably going to be able to get another one in if he doesn't quite hook this up. Silver livery with gleam touches, hints of Mercedes and sort of an alternative reality. Let's see what he can do. He looks so on rails through there. The car, he's really is one with the car. You can tell he's enjoying his time around there. And boy, look at that! That's wow. Pole position with a 117.8, beating DRS Neil to it, but not by a lot. So DRS Neil might think now the track's rubbing in a little bit, he could have a chance to take pole.
Yeah, and Chris Bailey is going for a Mercedes vibe with his. That's his Mercedes fanboy coming out.
Yeah.
There's only 2 actually listed in pictures and media today, and that's Chris Bailey with his Mercedes, and Single Track has done a Aussie Grit style. A bit of a Mark Webber road, I believe.
Fair enough. Mark Webber, of course, one of the key Australian drivers around here. Others include Oscar Piastri, of course, who is taking part in his first F1 season this year. A bit of contract drama over him getting in, and there's plenty in the lower tiers as well. People like Jack Doohan in F2, who is the Alpine reserve driver now, I think, after Oscar Piastri moved on. So it's a lot of potential down here, and it will be nice to see one of the people from down under go all the way. I'm on board with EFX Stewart at the moment, who's in 12th place. I think, is he one of our challenger drivers tonight?
He is. He's actually relatively new to the league. I don't even think he's raced before tonight. Well,
welcome to the league, Stuart, and that's a nice way to announce yourself with 6th place there, 118.9. Very racing.
I believe, if I'm not much mistaken, he's a friend of Anton, the French Scouser.
Okay, that'll be why he's quite quick, but it's weird that he hasn't taken his friend's advice and tried to qualify on a pair of Inters. So I think maybe it's good to disregard that advice tonight.
Maybe he's not quite as quick and showy offer yet.
Not quite. We will see how it goes. I'm just going to see, where is DRS Neil on his lap? He is coming towards the end. He's going for his quick lap. This might be the one, ladies and gentlemen. So I will stick on board. He's got that Audi livery as well. Audi meant to come into the sport, is it next year or a couple of years' time?
I think is it 2026 when the new engine regulations hit?
That sounds about right. So it's giving us maybe all a taste of what could come in the future. Imagine Mick Schumacher at the helm or some other German driver. It would be lovely to see those two together. Let's see what he can do around here. And of course he's got that time of 117.8 just set by Chris Bailey to beat. He's probably only going to get one bite of the cherry as well, because with 4 minutes on the clock, it's now or never. He won't be able to get back in and on a fresh pair of softs.
No, it's pretty much crunch time for a lot of them now. Chris is just about to leave the pits, I see.
Yeah. How do you cope with the... Sorry.
Go ahead.
How do you cope with these sort of like last bits in qualifying? Is it a bit that you relish, or is it something that you dread if that bit in the top right hand corner just doesn't seem to go green for you at any part of the lap?
It is a bit of a dread for me, because I always find that last lap you sometimes push too much, the pressure gets to you, and you actually a lot of the time end up ruining your lap. I think that's why I'm not very good at qualifying.
You can overdrive. I felt it on Monday night too. I did 2 sort of laps very smoothly and tried to just put in some bankers. Then my last one, I was just pushing too hard and I just couldn't get it together. I think maybe DRS Neil ran into a little bit of traffic. I wonder if he's going to get the lap he wants. He is staying in, so clearly he thinks he's up enough. Is it going to be enough? He's a little bit of a twitch there, but I think it's going to be a good time. It's a 1:17.445, a whole 0.4 seconds faster than nearest man. Boy, is that a racy time there from DRS Neil.
That's a brilliant time, especially for someone we're still trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be staying in the lower tiers for long.
No, not for very long with times like that. So, what can you do? Blowhole Bailey. Somebody new's come along. They put a new circuit on the, put a new target up there. He's just finishing his outlap now. Oh no, he's
Yeah.
was that his outlap? Sorry, I can't remember. He was saying there's a 1:30.
He's just starting a lap.
Just starting a lap, thank you. Sorry, the timing in the top right-hand screen went a bit haywire. Scottish Ninja has retired from the session. I can't see if that's on track. It is just after turns 1 or 2. So drivers really pushing now, and they are finding the limits of the track, and the limits of the track being the wall. Which you never want to see. Bailey up by 0.2, so that's not quite enough yet. He'll need to find another 0.2 at least to get pole position, but it's looking good so far.
Yeah, he's one who seems to relish the challenge. I mean, I've gone from being pretty good at qualifying in Season 8 to awful at qualifying. I'm lucky if I get top 10 these days.
Well, you've got upper tier as well, tier 1. I remember when I used to go up to tier 1. Qualifying's never been my strength, but you get up with some of those aliens and all of a sudden you're going, yep, okay, I'm pretty happy if I get 15th or something like that. DRS Neil was retired from the session, but I assume that's just because he thinks that he's done all he can. Bailey hitting the apexes of these last 2 corners, giving it everything. He's got that Leeds United helmet on show. DRS lap wide open. What's it going to be? It's going to be across the line with a 1:17.774. He didn't improve on his time. He must have lost time through sectors 2 and 3. It was looking so good. Unfortunately, it's going to be second place and best. And it's the man holding the baby who's going to be on there. Kid Dynamite is 6 seconds down on this lap with 52 seconds to go. So he has invalidated.
So
might get enough time to do another lap and go on board with Confetti Craig then, who's in 4th place in that Chazzy livery there. One of the new ones on the podium pass. Clearly been practicing a lot. What's it going to be across the line? The 1:18.38 doesn't improve on his time. Nobody's really getting those times in right at the end of the session. G-Star has invalidated. Saviour's now going to go across the line, and it's not really going to be improvement either. Stays in 6th place. DRS Neil.
I think Saviour's actually just starting a lap. I think that was a timing glitch.
Okay, fair enough. So thank you very much, Codemasters, for keeping me on my toes. Kid Dynamite in the pit, so there will be no other time set. G-Star also in the pit. 38 in 7th place with a 1:18.4. Is he going to improve, or is this just across the line? It looks like it's going to be, yeah, no improvement there. Good 1 second off his final time, so that's qualifying done for him. Johnny Smooth is our top challenger tier driver as well. He's still out there.
No, 38.
Sorry?
38 is the top challenger at the moment.
Yes, he is. Yeah, sorry, thank you for correcting me on that one. So, Johnny Smooth might be leading the
actually, DRS Neil.
Yes, which might show once again that maybe he's not quite challenger pace. We'll see how he does in the race tonight. We've got a few people who join and can be one-lap wonders, but you've got to have that race pace as well. It's all okay coming here with a time trial setup, but don't stay on the track when your tyres start to get warm. It's going to be no use at all. Johnny Smooth not even activating his DRS down that straight, so he must be on a slightly slower one. Going to be on board with Saviour now as he crosses the line. Any improvement up into P4 for Saviour? That's an excellent lap. We also missed Confetti Craig, who went up into second, jumping Bailey with a 1:17.65. Very impressive for him. I'm liking that. Oh, that's the German flag on his car as well. Represent, son, represent. That's a lovely idea for a car. I like that livery. So, as we all wind down, I think those are the last cars that are across the line.
Yep, I think we are done.
In the pits and single track, so we will wait for everybody to park up and then we'll go into the race proper. So, a lot to discuss there, I think. Any surprises for you, and who have you got your eye on during the race, Simba?
Surprisingly, DRS Neil is definitely a surprise with that time.
Yes,
I mean, it could be this track just really suits him, because he was alright on Wednesday, but he wasn't setting the timing screens alight. So it could be like what Julian was on Wednesday. He's normally mid to front pack of Tier 3, and he's set the timing screens alight in qualifying.
Yeah, well, we will see how he does in the race. So I'll just quickly take you down through our grid now. So it's DRS Neil in first, Confetti Craig second, Bailey Blowhole in third, Saviour in fourth, Kid Dynamite fifth, G-Star sixth, LRL in seventh, 38 in eighth, Jolly Smooth ninth, RFC Danny 10th, EFX Stewart in 11th, Lorpy in 12th, Bit in 13th, Single Track in 14th, Dennis Hornet in 15th. And unfortunately, we've got a few drivers who either retired or did not set a time. So that's Donny in 16th, Scottish Ninja in 17th, Biff and Richie in 18th and 19th, and finally Smith in 20th. It might be worth saying, we do have, what are the assists available in this? There is line available, isn't there, for people if they want it in MRC X?
Yep, there certainly is. We have most assists available in X to cater to the Tier 4 drivers.
Yeah, so it might be worth seeing what DRS Neil is running. If he is on that line and comes off, he has to go into the tiers. That might explain some of the difference in pace. But hey, if he's got those bits green when it tells him to go green and red when he needs to go red, then that's going to help him a lot. So it appears to be...
Certainly will.
So it appears to be another sunny session here. I was wondering, given that, we usually start the calendar with Bahrain and Saudi, you can guarantee some dry weather there, but I was wondering if we're going to see any wet weather today. Doesn't seem to be the case, but it might be the difference through the rest of the week. Have you tried wet weather in this game yet at all?
No, I don't think I have actually.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, when it does hit, it's going to be a challenge, because all the setups that are available tend to be mostly geared towards dry. There's a little bit of skill that goes into adapting a dry setup to a wet setup, usually a bit of ride height and a bit more wing. We'll see who's best in those adaptable conditions maybe later in the week. For now, it's nice and sunny, and I will just go through the pack here. Let's see what tyres that everybody is on. Oh, good.
I did, in the beta, I did run in the wet, but the handling has changed ever so slightly, and I haven't run anything wet. Other than, it was one of the weekly challenges. It was a Canadian Grand Prix that starts in the wet, but it's like changing to dry conditions, so you pit almost straight away. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That was the one to get the limited edition McLaren livery to take part, and you got that. So I do remember it. Wets didn't seem too bad, but I do wonder what challenge it's going to be when it does come. We've talked a bit already about how the braking differences in this game, how it can adjust through a race, and you might have to brake a little bit earlier. I wonder what that's going to be like in the wet, where you have to brake even earlier in some treacherous conditions. Fingers crossed our drivers won't have to deal with that tonight. Good spread of tyres in the field as well. Most starting on the mediums. We've got a couple on the softs. Saviour, G-Star, 38, RFC Danny, and Biff. Have you tried the softs out as like starting tyre in the race? They seem to be a better tyre this year in general in the race. I am doing a my team, but I tend to go the alternative and start on the mediums and go to the softs at the end, so I'm quicker at the end. It's
not a bad idea. I think they're a viable race tyre now, and they will keep their speed for about 5 laps, but when they go, boy do they go, and suddenly they feel very, very bad compared to like the same length mediums and hards. So you really have to spend that tyre when you can. Grid's just formed up now, sorry. Go ahead.
It is nice, obviously, that we can adapt and use all the tyres this time. We're not stuck with hards mediums. You can only use softs if there's a safety car and a couple of laps left.
Yes, it was a little bit dull. There's a lot more chance for strategy, and even my little strategy guide, which is up in the Discord if you're subscribed to that, does suggest that a 2-stop is only about 4 seconds quicker, so slower than a 1-stop, so one safety car. And if you use 2 sets of mediums and a soft, it could be a viable strategy around here, but glitching all over the place as we try and get 5 lights, and we're just going to pause as we always do on this game, and they're going to go when they decide to, and we're away. Here we go, DRS Neil right from the back of the field. Give me a better camera angle game. There they are, they'll come herring down to the first corner, but it's DRS Neil in front, and it's going to be Confetti in second, but Bailey's all the way alongside him. It's
five drivers have just been disqualified.
Hey up.
I think we may need to look at restarting this.
We will, won't we? I think that looks like there's a glitch to end all glitches there. Michael, that is so not right. So, yeah, if you are, should we call it now? Should we call the old?
Let's call it. It's not fair on them 5 drivers.
Yeah.
I mean, it pops up on the grid that Scottish Ninja was disqualified for reversing off the start line.
Okay, so a bit of an odd one there, but we will red flag this race. So if you're listening, please leave the lobby as soon as possible. We will organise and invite you back in, and we will set the lobby up as it was in qualifying position. So apologies for the inconvenience. We will see you all very, very soon.